Okay, so you should have completed your little online stress test now. So hopefully we'll have a feel for how stressed you're feeling at the moment. Also be aware of more generally the stressful situations that might be in your life as we speak. So now that we understand what stress is, what causes it and the effects that it has on our body, we need to start thinking about how to deal with it, how to manage the stress that we're feeling. Now we'll be talking about the proper long-term important changes that you can make to yourself, your life and your responses, which are going to have the key effect on the reduction of stress for you. But before we do that, I'd just like to talk about some quick fixes. These are things you can do in the moment when you recognise that you are feeling stressed. So let's just quickly remind ourselves of the slide of the effects of stress on the body. So the key things that we have recognised that happen to our body when we're feeling stressed relate to the lungs. We start to breathe faster and shallower. The heart starts to beat faster, pumps more blood, and our blood pressure rises, and we decrease the blood that's going to the organs because our muscles become in a state of readiness to fight or flight. So we've got our breathing with our heart rate and our muscles in a state of tension. So what we're going to do then as a quick fix is try to affect those three things. And these things might sound really, really straightforward, but actually all we're doing is interrupting our body's automatic response in an attempt to bring things back and normalise things within our body. So what are the things we're going to do then? Well, the first thing that we're going to look at is to do with breathing. As I've said, when you are in a state of stress, your breathing becomes more rapid but more shallow. And what we want to do is calm that down a bit. And we would like to do that through the use of breathing exercises. Breathing exercises are universally used to treat stress, anxiety, tension. Breathing exercise simply means taking a moment to breathe in a regular, deep, relaxed fashion. And that might sound, as I say, really too easy. How on earth is this going to help me? But actually, deep breathing is a really easy and important way to, in the moment, start to lower your stress levels. So there are all different techniques for deep breathing. Whatever works for you is great. You can do this sat at your desk. You can do this sat in a meeting that's getting a bit fractious. You can do this anywhere at all. It's not something weird or odd. You're simply breathing in a slightly more regulated way. Different options here, as you can see then. There are many. Do look on the internet if you would like to look at something else or use anything else. But here are some of the techniques available. First thing is 4-4. It is as simple as it sounds. You breathe in for 4, you breathe out for 4. Count in your head as you're doing so. Let's just do a couple of those together, just to get a feel, but I'm sure you've got the hang of it already. So we go in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Just a few rounds of those in a stressful situation hopefully can give us a little bit of an influence on our body and how it's reacting. You've probably heard of alternate nostril breathing. It's another way of calming our breaths. A lot of people swear by this because not only are you breathing in a slow and precise way, also this interaction of your hands doing something. Whether you actually want to be doing this sat on the bus or sat at your desk when you're dealing with a particularly difficult person is up to you. But the process of alternate breathing is exactly as it says. We're going to give it a go together, but it means we simply inhale and exhale out of one nostril at a time. So let's give it a go. Lift your left hand, put your left thumb against your left nostril, as the lady in the picture is doing on the left. And then we take a deep breath in through the right nostril. Now we swap the thumb for the finger on the right nostril, and we exhale through the left nostril. Now we inhale through the left nostril, swap the finger for the thumb, close the left nostril, and exhale through our right nostril. So we do an inhale and an exhale through one nostril and then close it with the appropriate thumb or finger. Just do that a couple more times to get the feel for that. The pace at which you do it is entirely up to you, because we've got hands involved and fingers. It tends to take a little bit longer anyway and slows the process down. So alternate nostril breathing might be one that's useful, and actually if you want to make a point to someone that you're feeling somewhat stressed, maybe the alternate nostril is a visual representation as well as anything else. The 4-7-8 is what it says again. We inhale for 4 breaths, for the count of 4. We hold without in or exhaling for 7, and then we do a very long slow exhale for 8. This is one that really takes an effort, because you really do have to slow down for this one. It's very hard to go for 7 plus 8 without taking a breath. So we'll try a couple of these together. I'll just count you in. So if you're ready, we're going to inhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop inhaling and hold for 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now carry on breathing in your normal fashion. You don't have to do too many 4-7-8s in order to bring your breathing and your heart rate down quite quickly, because it's quite an intense breathing exercise. So, takeaway from that is, if you're feeling tense, you're feeling like your heart's beating a bit, you're breathing a bit shallow, everything is tense in your muscles, try deep breathing as a starting point. The second thing that happens to our body then is that our muscles go into tension, ready to fight or flight. And so again, a thing that we can do is to actively force our muscles to relax. You can do this whatever fashion you like. Lots of examples again on the internet, and there's quite a lot of different examples in your notes. So we can, I've lost my page, it can simply be to stretch up and back slightly. This is going to stretch through the shoulders, which is where we all hold a lot of tension, shoulders and neck. This is a stretch up and back, forcing us to release a bit of tension in those areas. We can do all sorts of stretches at our desk without having to start looking like some kind of lunatic. So you can lean back against a wall, stretching the shoulders and neck as we have here. We can do things with our hands. This is simply a clench the fist, stretch the fingers. Try it as I'm talking. Clench the fist, stretch the fingers. This has the effect, of course, of relaxing our hands and arms, but it will usually go up as far as the shoulders again, the area where we hold a lot of tension. And then actively doing things for the shoulders. This is simply an exercise, again, please try it as I'm chatting, where we're going to roll the shoulders backwards and then we roll the shoulders forwards. You may well have other areas. What's this lady doing? This is gentle neck stretches. So simply bending the ear towards the shoulder on the right hand side, please try it. Ear towards the shoulder on the left hand side. And then you can move your head to look from one side all the way across to the opposite direction. Don't be doing the tilt your head back and stare at the ceiling. It's not that great for your neck. But certainly neck bends and then looking from the right to the left hand side slowly can help the neck. Hopefully you'll know the areas that you hold tension. If you don't, now's a great time to start getting to grips with understanding your body. Where do you hold it? Some people hold it really intensively in the belly area, and so you would have to actively work on softening the belly area, or you might hold it in your bottom, and so again you'd have to work on really relaxing and dropping down tension in that area. Long and the short of it is, when we're stressed, our body goes into a state of tension. We might not notice that our muscles are really taut. Can have obviously long-term effects on our body, but what we can do in the moment is start to do some active relaxing. The last thing as a quick fix then is simply to change the view. Sometimes the only way that we're going to lower our stress in the given situation is to change the view. Leave the room, go for a walk, go for the toilet, have a cup of coffee. Whatever it is, it means getting out of the immediate scenario. So within the school, hopefully, or potentially that could be that the bell goes for the end of a period and you have the opportunity to get up and do something different. Changing the view often is all we can do to get away from the immediate stress. We literally have to get away from it. We have to go somewhere else and give ourselves the opportunity to just work through in our head what's going on. And when we change the view, then we have the time to soften the muscles and do a bit of deep breathing. However, these three things then are literally just quick fixes. Ideally with stress, what we want to do is the long-term work on why are we stressed? How can we change this? How can we change our environment? How can we change our reaction to what goes on amongst us? How can we help support ourselves in various ways? And that's what we're going to be looking then for the next section of this course.